Hi, my name's Sydney Vanderlinden, and today we're going to talk about conflict of interest and self care in the mental health field. Today I'm going to provide you with two concrete examples of conflict of interest. The first are dual relationships. This can look a variety of different ways. However, one way this may look is when a counselor is providing therapy to a close friend or family. Or maybe they provide therapy services to two members of the same family. It's when these relationships get interweaved and connected, causing boundary lines to be blurred and at times impacting our ability to provide unbiased judgment. It is important to note that as boundary lines are blurred, not only can it impair professional judgment, but it can also make our clients feel like maybe there's some favoritism or bias happening in their treatment. A second example is when a therapist provides a referral for their own personal gain. Now, this one's a little more self explanatory. With that being said, it means that we're referring our clients out because maybe we have some sort of tie to receive financial gain. In these situations, bias is present, and we may be providing a service that the client is not necessarily in need of. In both of these scenarios, the ethical code is being violated. As people, we all have our own values, and sometimes they're in conflict with other people may value. It is important to realize this as we enter the mental health field. As we work in mental health, we will encounter many people from a diverse range of individuals who have different cultural and ethical backgrounds. As we work with such individuals, it will be crucial to understand their perspective so we can really listen and ensure that our therapy or our treatment is fitting for this client's need. It is important to note that when a person's values conflict with decision making in therapeutic contexts, it can have a significant impact on clients. For example, if a therapist holds a strong belief about a specific lifestyle choice that the client is considering, it can create bias, which then can create tension and a lack of trust. Efforts to resolve such conflicts are crucial. It is important that we practice continual self reflection to see where we stand on certain subjects with our clients to ensure that our opinions do not come off as bias therapy services. Some situations may be harder than others. Maybe we see our personal views getting in the way more than we expected. What we can do in these situations is seek support. Consult with our own people and have them maybe sit in or observe, or if that's not an option, provide insight on some strategies that they have found useful in their experience. Last but not least, it's important to revert back to the client's need. Our goals should be client centered, not based on our own goals. Therefore, keeping the conversation focused on the client and away from our personal values is crucial. As I've spent time analyzing ethical principles in mental health and wellness field, a main theme is fidelity. Fidelity emphasizes the importance of trust, honesty, and confidentiality. These are crucial elements to a client therapist relationship. Another extremely important principle is respecting clients' rights. Not only respecting them, but understanding them. It is important to understand that we cannot force our clients to do anything. It is their decision. In addition, it is also important to understand that some of our clients may be vulnerable. In these sensitive situations, it is crucial that our therapy services remain client centered. and that we lead them in a way that is away from harm. It is important to recognize that there is an abundance of ethical dilemmas that can arise. As previously discussed, challenges arise when boundaries are blurred. At times, this leads to creating dual relationships scenarios. One of the main concerns around this ethical dilemma and others is fidelity. When fidelity is breached, trust is out the door. Although these are scenarios we want to avoid, we need to understand that they will happen. As we work in mental health field, we see diverse people every day and multiple of them. When such situations occur, it is important to identify the ethical dilemma. Sometimes it can be really vague, and sometimes it can be very obvious. By self-checking and checking in with ourselves and others can help us stay on track. Next, it may be important to consult with a supervisor or a colleague that would be able to guide you and give you different guidance in this situation. And finally, it's important to reach out to the client and inform them of the situation at hand, also informing them of the ethical guidelines you need to follow and explain the situation to them. The sooner these situations are addressed, the sooner our client is able to return to the treatment they need. As you continue your hard work in the mental health field, I want you to remember that it's important to be aware of ourselves and check in with ourselves and make sure we hold ourselves to a certain accountability. By doing this, we are able to protect ourselves in areas where there may be a conflict of interest. And this is crucial so that we can provide the best support to our clients in the mental health field.